Hello everyone, I'm Despina Nicola from Dare to Begin Life Coaching, and we are on the third labour of Hercules today. We're looking at Hercules and how his labours relate to our lives and how we can use the teaching of his labours to improve the way that we're doing life. And so today is the third labour, and it's like looking at our environment, this labour. For me, it's looking at the environment and seeing how we can protect it. So, as you know, just a quick backdrop about Hercules. Hercules was a very strong person, and he had done something really bad, which we're going to talk about later, and he was making amends for something that he had done. And he used courage and humility in order to rectify what he had done, and through that he grew and he was redeemed. So very quickly about Hercules. Hercules was the son of Alcmene, who was a mortal woman, and his father was king of the gods Zeus, who had metamorphosized into her husband and gave her a son. They were twins, but the demigod, who was half god and half mortal, was Hercules, and his twin brother was born of his real father. And so through this, his Zeus's wife, who was the queen of the gods, Hera, she became very jealous of Hercules because, you know, it's the infidelity, and he was a constant reminder of Zeus's injustice to her. And so she tried a lot of things in order to get rid of Hercules, trying to kill him, and even as an infant, trying to, anyway, she did a lot of things. But one of the things she did was causing him to go into a delusional state and think his family were monsters or demons, or I don't know. And he slayed his whole family because he was under a delusional spell. And so Hercules felt really bad. He went into a deep, deep depression and hid himself away. He wanted to commit suicide. And in the end, he went to the Oracle of Delphi, where he got advice to perform penance for what he had done in order to free himself from the pain. And because in those days, well, even now, anybody that killed somebody, and especially their family, wasn't really accepted by society and the gods. And so this advice, he wanted to make amends for what he had done, and Hera and his jealous cousin, what's his name? Eros, oh gosh. Anyway, Hercules' jealous cousin actually made him do 12 labours in order to make amends of slaying his family, which was orchestrated anyway by Hera. And we're looking at the 12, but today we're on the third one, and it's that the third one is capturing the golden hind of Cyrene. And what I like about this labour is it's talking about the environmental care, it's talking about ethics, but it's looking at redemption, and a whole lot of aspects come into this one. And so let's get into it. First of all, this hind was a very graceful animal, and it belonged to Artemis, the goddess Artemis. She was the goddess of hunt. And she was also a protector of young girls and women. And she loved this hind so much because, first of all, it was so graceful, and it symbolized swiftness, and it was just so much like a woman's grace, and that's why she held it dear to her heart. And Hercules knew that if he captured or killed this animal, he would get the wrath of Artemis because it was one of her valued possessions. And so he had to work strategically in order to capture this hind. And so he actually went to Artemis and negotiated with her, and also with her twin brother Apollo. And with their influence and with their divine intervention, she, after a year, he managed to capture the hind, but the hind actually came to him in a gentle way, and the hind was so fast that no god or human could actually keep up with it. But through diplomacy, through gentleness, through the grace of learning the skills from Artemis and Apollo, he captured the golden hind, and he managed to take it back to King Eurystheus, I think his name was, and he managed to take it back. But it's not just about taking it back. There were two lessons learnt here. First of all, he did his best. He didn't work with violence. He didn't work in a brutal way. He actually worked in a very gentle, diplomatic way, and he got unexpected assistance from the goddess Artemis, and god Apollo. So he managed to, with his gentle diplomatic skills, he managed to capture the hind. And so that's fantastic. And the second thing is that the people that were against him, who was Artemis and Apollo, actually through diplomacy and cooperation, they became his friends. And so there was two teaching there. And through delicate negotiations, they managed to capture the hind. And it was just a peaceful resolution. Now, when he actually caught the hind, he pinched it when he took it back to the king, and so that the hind ran off. He did that. He accomplished the task, and he took it back to the king, which he was supposed to, but he preserved the environment and the animal by actually pinching it and sending it back to live in its natural environment. And I think that's so beautiful. Why should we, for our selfish, like King Eurystheus, I think his name was, why should he hold the hind, capture the hind, and keep it, capture it and keep it like enclosed when he has no right to do that? And so that's a lovely thing. So he actually showed perseverance and resourcefulness, and he overcame this task. And at the same time, he protects endangered species and the habitats. And it's all about that ethical decision making at that time of pinching the hind and it running off, and using creative problem solving by actually going to the goddess Artemis and talking to her and understanding how to capture the hind, because there was no way he could capture this hind. It was far too fast for him. It just used a swift graceful steps and, just ran too fast. Um, so, as I said to you before, um, Hercules and his labours, for me, have a Christian tone to them because it's about redemption. It's about making amends of past punishments. And even though he slayed his family, he was able to get favour and to rebuild his position with the gods and with the mortal people, even though he had done something so tragic. And that's a lot like, you know, us. We are sinners, and going to the cross, going to Jesus Christ, or asking for forgiveness, we can actually get forgiveness. And that's what I love about the Hercules' labours. They relate so much to our lives. Yes, and that's about it. That's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really appreciate you joining in. We'll be looking at the fourth labour next week. Hello, Emilia. Oh, you can't hear me. Oh dear, there's a problem there. I'm sorry about that. Love you guys lots. I'm going to say peace, love, and rainbows till next week. Enjoy your week. And remember to live your lives. Bye.